Hi everyone. Welcome to Hitchhikers TV.
Yeah, boy!
Before watching this video, kindly subscribe to our channel by clicking the subscribe button below and hit on the bell icon to be notified whenever we published a new video lesson. In this video lesson, let us learn how to plant, or grow, including the health benefits of peanuts or ground nuts, commonly known as money in the Philippines. Peanut, Arachis hypogaea L, or groundnut has been a popular crop in the Philippines. It is considered one of the major field legumes grown by farmers, but its production has been low and erratic. Among the provinces in the Philippines, the top producers of peanut are Isabela, Pangasinan, La Union, Quirino, Cagayan, Ilocos Norte, Ilocos Sur, Aurora, Albay and Iloilo. However, the Cagayan Valley region produced almost half of the country's total peanut production. Peanuts are an especially good source of healthful fats, protein, and fiber. They also contain plenty of potassium, phosphorus, magnesium, and B vitamins. Despite being high in calories, peanuts are nutrient-rich and low in carbohydrates. According to the United States Department of Agriculture, USDA, 100 grams of raw peanuts contain 567 calories and the following nutrients in grams, g, milligrams, mg, or micrograms. Fatty acids are an essential part of every diet. Most of the fats in peanuts are monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fatty acids, which are a healthful type of fat. According to the American Heart Association, consuming monounsaturated fats and polyunsaturated fats instead of saturated and trans fats can improve a person's blood cholesterol levels. This, in turn, lowers the risk of heart disease and stroke. There is also a small amount of saturated fat in peanuts. Saturated fat is less healthful than unsaturated or polyunsaturated. Doctors link too much saturated fat with cardiovascular disease. As a consequence, it is best to eat peanuts in moderation to get their optimal health benefits. Peanuts are an excellent source of plant-based protein, offering 25.8 grams per 100 grams of peanuts, or around half of a person's daily protein needs. The recommended daily allowance, RDA, for protein in adults is 46 grams for women and 56 grams for men. Protein is essential for building and repairing body cells. The amount of protein a person needs varies, depending on their age and activity level. Peanuts are a good source of dietary fiber. They contain 8.5 grams per 100 grams, which around 1/4 of a male's recommended fiber intake or 1/3 for females. The current dietary guidelines for Americans recommend that adults get the following amounts of fiber per day: 34 grams for men, 28 grams for women. Fiber is a heart-healthful nutrient. The or American Heart Association reports that eating fiber-rich foods improves blood cholesterol levels and lowers the risk of heart disease, stroke, obesity, and type 2 diabetes. Although, there are risks and considerations. Peanuts contain proteins called arakin and conarakin. Some people are severely allergic to these proteins. For these people, peanuts can cause a life-threatening allergic reaction. Because peanuts are high in calories, it is sensible to eat them in moderation as part of a balanced diet. Consuming too many calories may lead to weight gain. This is true regardless of whether the foods those calories come from are nutritious or not. Roasted, salted peanuts may be less healthful than raw peanuts due to their high sodium content. That said, if people consume them in moderation, they can enjoy them as a part of a healthful, balanced diet. In the Philippines, peanut can be grown throughout the year provided inputs, especially the water requirement, are adequately available. In general, dry season crop, October-January, gives higher yields and beans of better quality than the rainy season crop. Peanut is planted between rows of corn at varying spacing. Corn plants spaced at 100 cm apart with one row of peanut intercrop produce the highest grain yield. However, one row of peanut in between two rows of corn spaced at 75 cm is found to be the best. Intercropping combination. Land preparation. Peanut requires a well-prepared field to attain good seed emergence. Thorough land preparation is also necessary for proper development of pods and effective weed control. Plow and harrow the field 2 to 3 times at an interval of 7 days. Each harrowing consists of 2 passing. In dry season planting, straight furrows are made at a distance of 50 centimeters from higher elevation of the field going down to the lower elevation. In dry season planting, straight furrows are made at a distance of 50 centimeters from higher elevation of the field going down to the lower elevation. Seedbed preparation. A well-cultivated soil allows easy penetration of the peg and development of the pods. Plowing the field 15 to 20 centimeters deep will completely cover the plant residues and reduce losses from stem and pod disease caused by Sclerotium ralphsii. About 2 to 3 alternate plowings and harrowing will be sufficient to put the soil in good till for planting. Crop establishment. For seed treatment. Only full mature seeds from recommended varieties with high germination rate and vigor, that are free of weed seeds and other foreign materials. Planting. Peanut is planted as soon as the furrows are made, probably early in the morning or late in the afternoon. Planting shelled peanut seeds is the standard practice, but some farmers use the old practice of planting unshelled pods. A 50 cm row spacing gives the highest bean yield. However, for convenience and relative ease of weeding, cultivation and spraying without significantly affecting yield, 60 cm row spacing is recommended. Planting may be done mechanically or manually. Manual planting is accomplished either by drill method, sowing of seed singly and evenly on shallow laid out furrows, or by the hill method. Method and time of cultivation. Cultivation not only loosens up the soil for better root and peg development of peanut, but also controls the growth of weeds. Yield of peanut is greatly influenced by the combination of off-barring and hilling up. Likewise, hilling up is better than flat cultivation because the former provides loose soil around the base of the plant for the developing pegs. Hilling up done 35 to 40 days after plant emergence or just before flowering results in higher than hilling up after flowering. Weeding. The traditional method of weeding is still done, which is a combination of cultivation and manual weeding. Weeding should start as early as 2 weeks and not later than 6 weeks to maximize bean yield. Intercropping. Peanut is a crop that fits well in many multi-cropping schemes. In the Philippines, peanut is planted between rows of corn at varying spacing. Corn plants spaced at 100 centimeters apart with one row of peanut intercrop produce the highest grain yield. However, one row of peanut in between two rows of corn spaced at 75 centimeters is found to be the best intercropping combination. Intercropping peanut with sugarcane or other annual crops such as mung bean, soybean, or upland rice is highly profitable. Peanuts may also be intercropped with cassava, okra, and may be planted between rows of coffee. Water management. Peanut is relatively drought tolerant. Most field legumes need critical period of water during germination, flowering, pod development and pod filling stages. When peanut is planted during rainy season, irrigation is generally not needed. However, when planted during the dry season, especially in early October, supplemental irrigation is not needed in most instances. Normally, there is still residual soil moisture sufficient to support the vegetative and reproductive process of the crop from October to December. The late dry season planting in February needs supplemental irrigation. 3 to 4 applications may be enough. First application is at planting for seed germination, the second weeks after planting, the third at mid-bloom stage and the fourth at pod filling. The average amount of irrigation water ranges from 4 to 50 millimeters per application. Nutrient management. In the absence of soil analysis, a 30-40-40 fertilizer recommendation is practical, which is equivalent to 1.33 bags of urea, 4-0-0, or 3 bags of Amisol, 21-0-0, 4 bags of Solofos, 0-20-0, and 1.33 bags of muriate of potash, 0-6-0. If soil inoculant is used, only 1/2 of the recommended fertilizer is needed. Harvest management. Peanut should be harvested at the right stage of maturity. Harvesting is normally a very manual and labor-intensive operation which varies from 6 man-days/hectare to 15 to 23 man-days/hectare. In small-scale production, harvesting is done manually by pulling the entire plant or passing a native animal-drawn plow or both sides of the row to loosen the soil. The maturity of peanut can be determined by the following indications: A. Gradual withering and yellowing of the leaves of majority of the plants, which are more noticeable during dry season planting. B. Expected maturity date of variety ranges from 90 to 110 days depending on the planting season. C. Maturity is indicated by hardness of most of the pods, darkened veins of the inner portion of the shell, vascular strands on the shell becomes more distinct, and plump pinkish full-grown kernels. Post-production practices. 1. Stripping/threshing. Farmers aerate and dry newly harvested peanut in the field, which can either hand-pick or strip/thresh pods from the vine by beating. To shake off pods from the vines, farmers repeatedly strike pods against a hard surface. Manual threshing of wet peanuts is accomplished at the rate of 11 kg per hour per person, while that of half-dried peanuts at the rate of 30 kg per hour per person. For wet season crops, farmers usually strip or thresh the pods immediately after harvest so that they can be immediately dried to the desired moisture content to prevent deterioration. For dry season crops, stripping is delayed because farmers windrow the plants in the field to reduce plant and pod moisture content. Picking is done in such a way that the peduncle does not go with the pod. The pods are then washed and the inferior, immature ones are separated from the mature and sound pods. The parent plant or vines are usually either left in the field to decompose or capped and used as animal fodder. 2. Drying. Sun drying is the traditional and most commonly used drying method by farmers, which is considered as the cheap method but very dependent on climatic condition. It will take 2 to 5 days depending upon the weather condition to dry the crops left in the field under the sun. In general, drying is done twice within the chain of post-harvest operation: initial drying prior to threshing and final drying before shelling. When peanuts are grown as second crop, windrow frying in the field is sometimes followed by aeration in small shaded huts prior to threshing and final drying as practiced in Cagayan Valley region. 3. Shelling. Peanuts should be shelled carefully to avoid scratching, splitting and rupturing of the seed coat, breaking of the cotyledon, or separating one or both of the cotyledons from the embryonic axis. Traditionally, farmers shell peanut manually. Manual shelling of sun-dried and flatbed dried peanuts gave similar average recoveries of 68%. Hand shelling is the preferred method of obtaining peanut seeds, which protect seeds from being broken. Sorting. After shelling, processors manually clean and sort peanut into reject, broken whole nut and unshelled nut. The common practice to winnow peanut by using circular bamboo tray bilao and hand-pick the nuts. Substandard kernels and other impurities are manually sorted from good kernels done by separating the split, damaged, moldy and other defective kernels. Storing. Peanuts are stored in unshelled form. The shells act as a natural protective covering of the seeds against mechanical damage and insect infestation. Farmers use sacks, but some store peanut in open concrete pits under their farmhouse, bamboo baskets. For shelled peanuts, traders use bags piled to a maximum of 7 to 8 layers only. Shelled peanuts are usually stored 2 months and 6 months only for the unshelled peanut.
Hey, that's pretty good.
If you like this video, we will be glad if you could give us a thumbs up and see with your comments below and share this video lesson. We hope to see you on the next upload.